us this morning in our Evidential Mediumship Circle. Today, you're going to be able to watch evidential mediums as they connect with people who have crossed over to the other side and deliver messages from those people. We hope that by watching us work, you'll come to understand that the loved ones you may have lost are, in fact, still with you. So please join us in this sacred energy as we open with a prayer. Holy Father, Mother God, thank you for allowing us to come together today in service of spirit. Please help us to open all of our senses, physical and spiritual, so that we can receive your messages without interference from our own minds. We humbly ask that you make this circle an uplifting and joyous experience for everyone in attendance. Please ask the spirits who recognize the voices in this room to join us this morning so that we will know that they watch over us, love us, and protect us still. And please allow us to deliver the information presented by Spirit with grace and compassion, in complete trust and respect of your infinite wisdom. Amen. Okay, and I think we could probably do 12 minutes each with limited feedback if that works for everybody. Okay, I'm going to set a timer up, and who would like to go first?
I will try.
Well, thank you, Rene. Step on up.
All right. I have a woman stepping in, and she is showing me beautiful handwriting, beautiful printing. And I feel this woman is either mother or grandmother. And I feel you still may have a card or a letter from her. She was very soft-spoken. She liked to wear dresses. She was a mother. She just adored her children. She had a lot of friends. She was well known in the community. And she just was filled with so much love, so much kindness, very soft spoken. And I'm going to stop there and see if anybody understands this, especially like the letter or the card with the handwriting, because the handwriting, it is just beautiful.
I can take what you're saying, Rene.
And who is that?
Candace.
Candace? Okay. And you would understand the handwriting?
Yes, I have a card.
Okay, because I felt there was like a card, either maybe birthday or Christmas card, if you would understand that.
Yes.
This woman was looked up to in the community. She was well liked. She was close with her neighbors. And it wasn't unusual for her to bake and take something to the neighbors or make a soup or make a dish and carry it to the neighbor's home. Would you understand that?
I think so. I think so.
Okay. I'm also seeing a small dog around her. And she's showing me this dog in the house. So he was a family pet. He was well loved. She's also showing me a small yard outside of her house. And she did different things in this yard. She's showing me with flowers around the home. She's showing me hanging clothes on the clothesline. She's showing me just a bright sunny day, just to personify her personality, that she was a sunny person, that she was just like the sunshine in people's lives. She had a husband that was dedicated to her and that was deeply loved. This love was shared by both. She loved him as much as he loved her. I feel like they had a long-term relationship and a beautiful family.
Yes.
I'm asking her to give me an object that you would understand. And she's handed me a rose. I don't know if there's significance to the rose itself or a specific flower or the name rose. Would you understand that?
can't take rose.
Can't take rose? Okay. She's given me a flower.
I can take a flower, a specific flower.
Okay. She's showing me a pink flower now. Would you understand a pink flower?
Not pink.
Not pink. Okay. I'm just going to stick with her flower that she's given me. Because now, as I say that, she's showing me different flowers. She's showing me carnations. She's showing me daisies. Uh, she just like has a liking for flowers. She's also shown me a bouquet of flowers. I feel like there's a significant occasion coming up where there'll be a bouquet of flowers presented to a person, either for a birthday or an anniversary in the upcoming months. Would you understand this?
With this specific flower of hers, I was holding the bouquet, but there's no
Okay.
birthday coming up right now.
Okay. Okay. She's also given April as a significant month for either a celebration or event that will be happening in the next few months. She's given me April.
Yes.
Okay. She's showing me a table covering that is of significance. I feel like this was passed down at her passing. It looks to be like either a table runner or a tablecloth. Would you understand this?
Yes.
Okay. I feel this woman was a religious or a Christian woman because she's showing me a piece of furniture like with a table covering on it, and I'm showing a Bible. So I don't know if she had a Bible that was of significance to her religion, or this is just showing me that she was a Christian or religious woman.
Yes.
Okay. She's showing me like a small votive candle burning. And I feel like there's prayers going out for someone specific in the family, that there's concerns. And she's standing right there over that person, protecting them and accepting these prayers and helping with that person. Would you understand a specific instance where you have somebody of concern in your family right now?
Yes.
Okay. And she's just gathering close to that person. And she's showing just like hugging them and letting them feel empowered, because they're kind of down and out right now. And they don't have a lot of hope in themselves or belief in themselves. And so she's trying to just let them feel her love. And there's a family member that's going to come to their rescue. I feel like it's, not just words of upliftment to them, but there will be an action, like you're going to take them under your wing and invite them in for dinner or take them out, and just make them feel special. So she's showing me that. She's showing me rainbows, that there's going to be rainbows over this person. So good luck is coming their way. There is a solution to the problem. She's showing that. She's showing just a lot of love being shown on this person. I feel this person is a male. I'm not sure if you would understand that, but there's a male, either that's significant, that needs the concern, or there's a male that is close to him. And as I come to her message, she's just showing me like a tree just blowing in the wind. And as the tree blows in the wind, it bends at times, but it never loses its root. So she's talking about staying rooted, staying stable, and just going with the flow. There will definitely be some hard times, but they're showing me just blowing with that wind, that you're able to endure this and get through it. And she's just going to be there. She's sending prayers, she's sending love, and she's sending hugs. So I'm going to leave that with love and light. And thank you for taking her message.
That was beautiful. So
Thank you.
yes, this was my grandmother, and flowers is very important. And I actually have them growing outside here by my healing room. And I kept her birthday cards that she wrote in that was to us. And we have a birthday in April. She was very religious, and she would often read her Bible, and she gave me a Bible. Yeah, and I've got 2 family members that are battling at the moment. So it's nice to know that she's praying for them and us.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you. And I thank her for coming in.
Thank you.
Oh, nice job, Rene. And
Thank
isn't
you.
that interesting that she's watching over these family members who are not on the best of terms right now, and is coming in to offer some guidance. So, all right, who would like to go next? Joann, thank you. Step on up.
So, Rene, I believe I'm with you.
Okay.
Just seeing how you're reading and they just come in.
They hear my voice.
Yes, but I'm asking. Okay, I feel this is your mother, and she came in wearing glasses. She was telling me that she liked to crochet and even needlepoint. And then I'm like, with the needlepoint, um, she had shared with me that she didn't do that very often, but I felt like there was a needle point she worked on, one needle point in specific, but the crochet. She also showed me a basket, like a wicker basket with yarn in it that she would have next to her when she would sit down. And the scene that she's showing me is around winter, a winter scene, sitting down. And she was sharing with me that she loved the time. It was very chaotic in the house because there were so many kids running around, but she
Yeah.
loved all the commotion. She's sharing, she loved all the commotion. And I felt, and she's showing me children. I think you might be one of the child that would sit next to your mother by her leg. I just feel like there's always someone tugging at her leg.
Yeah.
And and she loved the chaos. Not sometimes it'd be too much, but she loved the family noise around the house. It really filled her.
Yes.
It was interesting, Rene, as you were giving, she had me pay close attention to you when you were reading with Candace, and this is kind of different. The message you were saying to Candace, and I'm sure because we're mediums, we don't remember it. But as you were saying it, it was sort of like when I was connecting her briefly, it was interesting because those same words she was offering to wanted to console you. Um, I'm getting chills as I'm saying that. Things will be resolved. And as you know, your mom is with you at all times. There is she's showing me there's a specific gentleman that will be helping you with this. It's a specific gentleman that's been very helpful, and I hope you can take that.
Yes.
And I feel that the source of why she's coming through today is to reaffirm and to give you comfort. And she's giving me like a symbolism with what is occurring as your house is being um, like she's showing me um, like anchored like these metal things and like a jackhammer. I don't know. It's like a thing that you sort of raise a house with. Um, with that, it's a double meaning. She's sharing that with that foothold that you have on your home, you will also have that in your life. It's like that's the feeling I'm getting. It's a double meaning there. And okay. Now what's coming through, what's interesting, I see this dog. Um, this beautiful dog is prancing in, and I feel it was sort of I don't know, it looks like a large dog. Um, I want to say Rufus, but it's funny because names are tricky. But and the color that I see this dog is it's like a like patchwork almost. Would you understand that it has
Yep. Yes, I would. Yes.
okay. Mm. And I feel that it was a family dog. Would you understand that? A
Yes.
family dog?
Yes.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
thank you. And I don't know why I'm getting Rufus. Is it his name? It sounds like I don't know. We'll just leave it at that because names are always tricky. But that's what I'm hearing is
No,
Rufus.
but I can understand why it's coming
Okay.
up that way.
And oh my goodness. Okay. With that dog, now there's another smaller dog coming on. Would you understand a smaller dog with this larger dog?
Yes.
You
Yes.
understand that? Okay. This is much smaller and they're like here, wanting to show that they're here. Um, I feel that they're showing or they're sharing with me that they're very grateful um that love that you gave them, Rene. I felt like, yeah, it was a family dog, but I think you sort of took ownership of those dogs.
Yes.
That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And they're very appreciative of that. Um, uh, as far as the situation, and I feel like it's with and the concern that she is sharing with me is that um, she's giving me like spring, like it'll resolve, everything will resolve. And she's showing me spring and things melting. Um, she's telling me it's going to take a minute. That's what she's sharing with
Yeah.
me. It's going to take a
Mhm.
minute. But as it's sort of symbolism is as spring comes and the flowers bloom, so will all your problems. Like you're going to see the flowers blooming. It's like it's interesting how she's giving me this symbolism along with um,
Oh,
and your whole family's here, Rainey. I'm having okay. Okay, I'm just going to bring it all in. Your sister's coming in, and she was your constant cheerleader, and I'm hearing her cheering you on with her bubbly energy, and she is sharing with me. She even makes noise in your house, like to remind you, and this is what she's sharing with me. I don't know what it is. Oh, she's showing me. Um, there's these chimes. Like I feel like she just goes like this with the
Oh my gosh.
chimes
Yes.
to let
Yes.
you know that she's there.
Oh,
And she's showing me it's in those moments um where you're sitting down there and you really need their comfort. And I feel like she just sort of reminds you, and sometimes it's sort of like, was that the breeze? Did the breeze do that? It's questionable, but
yes.
she's the one who's going like this
Oh,
to, yeah,
oh,
to
yeah.
bring music to your life. Um, it's just interesting with spirit. I feel that your brother also will have a hand in assisting on the other side with the concern of the foundation. I feel like that I feel like he knows a gentleman, or the gentleman who's helping. Like if I feel like he knows him, or he will be assisting the guy who's uh, helping with the foundation. I feel that he is definitely there in spirit. And I know this sounds like really we're mediums and it sounds really woo-woo, but this is what he's sharing me, and I want him to give me more like factual things.
Oh,
But this is what he's showing. And I'm hearing this too shall pass, Rene. This too shall pass. And I don't know, it's interesting. He's showing me now, this is your brother. Um, it's a bell, a bell, like a bell. I don't know, but that's what he's showing me. I don't know if it's the word bell, but a bell,
that's significant.
bell.
Remind me. Yeah.
Okay, a bell.
Significant.
And and then he's also showing me the victory dance like in Rocky for some reason. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm gonna leave that with you. I'm gonna leave your family's love with you.
Oh, thank you so much. That was amazing. Do you like a little feedback?
Sure.
I think I could give a little more feedback. But my mom did have glasses. She showed me how to cross stitch. When my children were born, she showed me how to do these two little pictures where I put their birth dates and their weight and height and stuff on there. So I had those for years hanging. She had showed me how to do that. She also knitted and crocheted. On the back of my couch is a crocheted Afghan that she made for me. I did an early morning meditation, and I asked my brothers and sisters and family and friends to come in and share their help with me because I'm having issues with my house, and there's a GoFundMe set up and it's like amazing. So they're like being there with their strength. When I was down looking at the wall, I found this bell, had a unicorn on. So unicorns are significant, but this bell, I'm like, oh my gosh, I probably haven't seen this bell in 50 years. And it was almost like a symbol that, everything's going to be rainbows and unicorns and we're going to find the right person. And one of the contractors did say spring as a startup date. Um, the other thing, my brother, significant about the foundation, he had the same issue when he bought his house. He hand dug it and did it entirely by himself, and it was um, over 50 years, and he doesn't have a crack in it or no water, no problems at all. So I think he's showing me that, the foundation has to be strong. And when you said good footing, the man said, I don't know if there's a footer, but if there's not, I have to put a footer because you need that for the strength and you need that to build the foundation. So I understand the symbolism of that too, of building a foundation and anchoring relationships too. I thank you so much for that. Is there anything I missed that you had a question on? I
No,
forgot.
that's okay. I can't remember.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I thank all my loved ones because I know they're here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I actually have a question for
Oh,
Joann.
Rufus. What was a
Oh,
there's something?
that dog was brown, black, and white, and he was so big, and his
Oh.
tail was really fluffy. So when he would come in, like he'd be so excited to see everyone, his tail and his body would be swaying, and everything would come off the coffee table or anything around it, and anywhere I took this dog, people were drawn to him. They just loved him. He loved people. He loved animals. And he was just like a big Rufus, He was just overjoyed all the time and popping in and showing his
Okay,
presence.
that's what it was. I'm like, what is that? Okay,
But
okay.
his name was Jason. And the smaller dog was my other dog. They were so connected to me. I just felt so loved by them, and I know I loved them dearly. So his name was Bart. So thank you.
And that's the question I actually had for Joann. Okay, in the middle of that reading, all of a sudden you have two dogs pop in. Do you want to explain to the people who are listening how that can happen?
Oh, well, I think when spirit wants to show themselves, even, pets are souls and they're our loved ones. And I know for myself, they're like my children and they will come through to show. And I know for me, I've had a previous medium bring forth my dog, and it was very healing and cathartic. So, yeah, our pets are. I really feel like we have also soul contract with our pets. They come into our lives for a reason. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful reading. And thank you for that feedback. All right. Who wants to go next? Alyssa, thank you.
Hi. So I have just a little bit here, so we'll see where this goes. But I do feel like I'm with you, Carol. I have a woman who plays piano, and I see her not only playing for herself, like enjoying it, potentially being an instructor of piano, but I know that she would have also been playing piano in the pit orchestra for some of the shows. And so you would have had a relationship with her through music. Are you recognizing this woman?
Could be several people.
Okay, great. So I'm going to keep going because I also know that she would have known your husband as well.
No.
Okay, let me describe who I'm seeing. So I see her a smaller woman, thinner build, and it feels like her hair is quite short and she wears glasses, but it does feel like layered. And she feels a little bit more she's got a quiet quality about her when she's meeting other people. So she's like a little bit more reserved, but then she actually is quite expressive and animated when she gets to know people. Would you know this woman?
I know who that is, and she is alive.
Okay, all right. So let me keep going with this. Okay.
But that all fits.
Okay, that all fits. Okay, let me keep going with her and we'll see where this opens up. Okay, so I want to say that this woman, it feels like she'd be coming up into more leadership within her community organization. Would you know that?
I would not know.
Okay. Okay. And it's interesting because I feel like these groups of musicians, she's telling me that they're a roving cast. So it's not always the same assemblage of people, but it feels like there's some turnover.
Yeah, that would be true. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And would you understand that she's also involved in the schools?
Yes.
Okay, because that's the feeling I get. And I want to say that she has a real love of working with the younger children. That's
I'd
one
say
of her
that's true.
passion areas. Okay, one of her passion areas. And it's funny because I'm getting this sense with her that because she's telling me that when they're younger, they're still open-minded enough to be silly and experience the full range of their voices. Whereas working with the older kids, they're starting to become a little bit more closed off to it. Okay. Let me see. Okay, this is interesting. Would you know that there would be a person that you would have in common, who would be in spirit? And I feel like there's a brass reference or there's a French horn. There's a
Yeah.
reference to a French horn.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you would understand the French horn player would be in spirit?
Um, if he is, I'm not aware of it, but keep on going.
Okay, well, because it's like she had brought in the French horn. So, and this was a shared point of connection with this man. Okay.
True.
Um, okay. And he feels like a little bit more portly. Would you understand that for him?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay, fuller. Okay. Ooh, and and playful. But he's got this playful quality about him. Would you understand that for this man?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Almost like he's like a big child. It's like he's like a big child.
That's what his wife said.
Oh, that's hilarious. Because I get this sense of he's I get the sense from spirit of like don't let the grays fool you. Don't let my gray hairs fool you. Like I'm
Mhm.
a kid at
Mhm.
heart, you know. Okay, let me see where this is going. Um and it's funny because I feel like you would indulge him. He would like he you indulge his humor, I would say more than some other people.
That's probably true.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then this is really funny too. He's bringing in an old-fashioned popcorn machine.
Oh my gosh. That is so funny. Yeah, that's
Uh,
true.
okay, all right, because I'm getting an old-fashioned popcorn machine and I'm seeing it red and white striped.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And I also get the reference to Cracker Jack. Okay, the Cracker Jack. And it reminds me of the baseball song, like, get some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I'll ever come back.
Yeah, that makes sense too. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And it's almost like that song feels like it's in a particular play, or there's
In
a
a
reference. Yeah.
it's in a particular spot, but not in a play. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, let me see what else. And it's funny because when I'm in the building, they're showing me the building, you know. Would you understand it feels very like not many stories to it, but it feels like long and almost round. Like I feel this like long round quality to this auditorium or this building.
It is not many stories. I don't understand the round quality.
Okay. Okay. Would you understand in the like amphitheater itself, it just like it gives this rounded appearance. I just get this round effect that comes
I
in.
don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. That comes in. Okay, let me see. Why spirit is bringing them in for you. Okay. This is interesting, Carol. Would you understand that you would have been involved in like not only do you play music, but sometimes you also write your own?
Yes.
Okay. And would you understand that that would be a recent thing for you, that you've been recently working out some melodies?
Yeah.
Okay, because they're bringing that in, all right. And it's funny because I have the sense that the reference to the music here is also it almost feels like influenced by old-timey influences, but it's
Yeah.
current. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is funny. And then you know what else comes in? Okay, and then they're also referencing things in your house, Carol. Okay. Would you understand? I know. I was like, everybody clean up your mess now.
Oh
My
no.
spirit sees all. It's more than just Saint Nick, you know. I'm joking. Wait, would you understand the old, are they called the vibraphones?
I know what a vibraphone is. Yeah. Yeah. But I
I
don't
have
know.
no, this is like newer to me. So they're bringing in a vibraphone, but I want to say that in your home, you do have some of these old antique instruments.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay, and I want to say that that some of them are just decorative. Like
Yeah,
some
that's
can
true.
play and some are, out of commission, but that,
Correct. Yeah.
and I want to say not only are they certain ones were ones that you've purchased with your own money, right? Like
Mhm.
if you went to estate or antique or vintage kind of sales, but it also feels like somebody has gifted them to you too. Would you
That
understand
is very true.
that when they've done, this is what I'm hearing, when they've done certain like house clean outs, that they've also brought these old instruments to you because they're like, I have no idea what to do with them, but I know that you'll find a place for them.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Okay. And this is really funny too, because I know that earlier on, with the reference of your husband, would you understand that your husband sometimes works to tidy your messes?
Never.
Never. Would you understand though he would tell you to kind of streamline?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because I get the sense though of him being a little bit like funny about it. Like he indulges your passions and your interests, but sometimes he's like, well, what do you need another for?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
That's
do feel like if even if it's not that he's lifting a physical hand to like straighten up your stuff, he's
mhm.
coming into, I feel like there's the acknowledgement of your husband being a little bit more of the practical, like, all
Yeah.
right, Carol, rein it in,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
That's funny. Okay, so let me just see with this where they're going. They're very supportive of your music. I feel like they're very, very supportive of your music. And it also feels, Carol, would you understand that it's crossed your mind and this is something that you haven't done so much, but it feels like to share that music with the next generation?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I want to say that there's two people in particular. It feels like two students or something like that.
Actually,
Younger.
I'm not aware of the number of students, but it would be younger. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's two people who are coming your way to learn from you.
Okay.
Okay. Um and then I'll bring in some names because I was getting some names in association with these different musicians. Would you understand like a Wendy, an Alice, or an Erica, or an Erica?
That's interesting. I understand Alice and Erica related to not the musicians, but I do know them quite well.
Oh, okay, okay. For some reason that those names were also coming in. So if that's relevant to things that are in your present life right now,
Right,
just
right.
know that spirit is also bringing that in because I feel like they feel like confidants and supports to you.
Co-workers,
Okay, okay.
co-workers. Yeah.
And would you say that you have that type of relationship with them though?
Um,
Supports to you?
so
So,
teammates. Yeah.
okay, okay. And let me just see last little bits here. Um, okay, and as I'm just like feeling in with spirit around the messages that are here to be shared today for you, um, I get the recognition of them talking about um, that we change roles many times between being the star of the show and being the supporting.
Hmm.
And they're saying what you understand well, but it serves to be reiterated, is that um, allow yourself the fluidity of knowing when to stand in center stage and when to take the back seat.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I'll leave that there with you. Thank you.
That was awesome, Alyssa. Absolutely awesome. So I'll start with the female. Okay. And actually, the female and the male are from the same group. They're a musical theater group that I'm involved in. She is the director of the orchestra. Okay. And her name's Ruth Ann. and he played a bunch of brass instruments, including the French horn. He also played trombone, this kind of thing. But we were all in the pit together, playing for various musicals. And the theater company has one of those old-fashioned popcorn machines, the red and white thing. And it was kind of neat because, like, during rehearsals, they'd fire up the popcorn and you could go during the break and get popcorn, which was really kind of nice. It was a nice feature. The reference to Take Me Out to the Ball Game was really interesting. That's so obscure. That song with the Cracker Jack, buy me some peanuts and
Yeah.
Cracker Jack. Okay, because that song is really old and it actually has another part to it that nobody knows. And one of my jobs in the band was to play the part that nobody knows.
Ah,
And, so we would make it a joke with the audience and we would say, okay, y'all know this song.
yeah.
We're going to play it for you. Here's how it starts. And then we'd stop after I played that first part and we'd say, okay, what's the name of the song?
Ah,
And everybody be going, well, I don't know. Okay. And then we'd start, take me out to the ball.
uh-huh.
It's put in the second half, and everybody be going, oh, you know what I mean?
Oh, how
It's fun,
funny.
but nobody knows that first part, So that was extremely relevant, just really funny. And the message was relevant too. That was great. But now I have a question for you. Okay. As far as I know, Ruth Ann is living. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, how does that happen for you as a medium? How did you manage to bring her in?
So for some reason, so I'll share with folks the way that I kind of experience or interpret that is that there may be another spirit who's kind of behind the curtain and providing that information. And oftentimes, whichever spirit is bringing that through, it's less important for them to sometimes talk about themselves than it is to bring up significant experience with someone who's living because there's something that's relevant to our sitter. So,
And it was. Yeah, fantastic.
cool.
So
Well, I appreciate
excellent.
that.
Thank
Thanks.
you, Alyssa. Okay, we have Candace or Adrienne who would like to go. Candace, all right, you jumped right in there. Go ahead.
Okay. I have a lady with me, and she is making me aware of being a sister. And I feel that you would have played cards with her. And she was also making me aware of enjoying like peanut butter and jam sandwiches. Can anybody take this so far? Rene. Okay.
I can
And
understand so far. Yes.
okay, Rene. And I felt like also being made aware of that you would have worn each other's clothes. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
And she's also showing me a plastic shoe that may have been like popular at the times. I
Yes.
don't know what.
That I know what she's talking about. Yes.
Okay. And I feel that she would have also really enjoyed being dressed up. And I feel like she's showing you in a hat, but you may have something extravagant in the hat, like a feather.
Yes. Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay. And I feel that she would have had a beautiful voice. Did she enjoy singing?
She sang all the time. She loved to sing.
Okay. And I was made aware of like enjoying coffee with you, but at the times when it was like sunrise or sunset.
I understand that. Yes.
And I feel like that she would have enjoyed the simple things in life. The simple things were the most meaningful, I feel. And would she have fed a horse an apple at a time?
I didn't understand that. Can you repeat that?
Would she have given an apple to a horse?
That's possible. And I understand apple and I understand horse.
Oh, then separately.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I
But
know what you said.
she's also making reference of that you have like a cute mug where maybe the handle is different or something like that, bigger
Yes,
than.
I understand. Yes, yes, that's significant.
And I feel like the gifts that you give to people really are meaningful, because there's also a reference of maybe her having something with her name on, or like something that's a special. Can you take that?
Yes.
Okay. Let me just see what else she is making me aware of. And I feel that I would have had your like back and stuck up for you, especially when people were being mean to you or a bit harsh.
Yes.
Okay. Because you didn't want anybody talking down to you. And I feel that you would have had conversations and she would have like spoken sternly about this or encouraged you to like make the right choices, make the right decisions, because she didn't want to see you getting hurt. Can you take that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else. And she's talking about the animals really deserving food or deserving to be fed. Can you take that?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's something like they also deserve warmth and food just like humans do. So, which
Yes.
is making me feel like she would have an animal in her house maybe that always may have like belonged outside, but I feel like she would bring it in. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
seeing a photo of somebody feeding like a little pig in the home.
Yes.
Let's see what else she's giving me. And I feel like if I have clothes on and it's a hot summer's day, I will take off my clothes and I will go jump in some water with her costume. So I feel like she would be that person who would like seek out fun activities to do.
Yes.
Can you?
Yeah.
And and the more the merrier. And I feel like I see her drinking like cold drink and helping to set up the table. And I feel that there were many happy family like celebrations together. You know what I mean?
Yes.
She is making me aware of, do you know if she had like a weakened bladder? If she needed the toilet a lot, or you know, but
That I don't know. That I don't know.
okay. Let's see. I feel like there's humor around you guys when you were both younger, and when your mom was calling you to like do something or do a chore. I feel like I hear her saying that we can't hear her. You know what I mean? Because you didn't want to go help. Can you take
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Okay. Because you would often be called back to help, and she's showing me that she was capable and helped people, because I feel like I see her holding onto another lady's arm and she's helping her walk. Do you know if
Yeah.
she helps somebody elderly like this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if she wasn't the strongest person in her strength, I feel like her helping meant something and it did make a difference, you know?
Yes.
Okay. And she's talking about making something, and it's like you got to stir all the time so you don't get lumps in it. Do you know? Can you take
Yeah.
that?
Yes. Yes.
And I may want something additional on top of something else that may make it taste better. Like popcorn must have something else on top of it to make it taste better. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
I feel that she would like to experiment with food, and she enjoyed the tasty things, you know?
Yes.
Um, let's see. But I also want to say, like, don't go and put a chili in there. Like, don't make it too hot that you can't eat it anymore. Can you take that?
Yes. Yes. Neither one of us likes spicy. Yes.
And I feel like I'm looking out the window and somebody could be driving up the long road, but I feel that you would see them from a distance. I don't know if this
Yes.
is your family home, but I'm looking. Okay.
Yes, I understand that.
And like, would your dad be very protective, or somebody, a male would be very protective in where she went out and who she went out with when she was younger?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
let's see. But I feel like your mom taught her right, and she had like good values and morals, and she knew how to look after herself. There was like an inner strength there, you know.
Yes.
Um, let's see. And being made aware of like people, she would have maybe offered you or offered somebody to come and stay by her. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How I'm doing that?
Yes.
Because I feel like even when I don't have you around, I'm still thinking about you and wondering what's going on and caring for you from afar. So I feel that there would have been those telephone calls, you know, where you would
Yeah.
talk out on end and you would get so comfortable while you were sitting talking, because I feel like you had lots to say, even if you spoke like the day before. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Let's see. And I'm seeing one of those telephones where you put your finger in and you ring it. You like,
Yep. Yep.
and there's something about you, like all of you really always remembering your home phone number.
Yeah.
So no
Yeah.
matter where you were, you could always like phone home.
Yep.
Or like to come home. And you would have enjoyed watching the movie E.T. together.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, there's something about that little girl in the movie being so cute and beautiful. And I feel that you both had the same sense of like curiosity to the universe, you know, the sky and the stars, and always believed in something more.
Yes.
Okay. And it's like that. It's like she wants you to remember the communication like that, how you could ask. It's almost like still phone calling your sister from, you know, from here to the spirit world, that she will always like pick up and be by you and want to communicate with you, and a strong connection that you will always have from your heart. Let's see. So you mustn't feel alone, you know. And she's making reference of sometimes now in your life where you are closing a jam jar, but you don't close it as tight as you used to. So you just like put the lid on and give it a turn. So I
Exactly.
don't know, you know, but it's like you just do what you can do at the moment and don't stress, because you need to gather your strength and rest sometimes too. So I leave her with your love.
That was totally awesome. Well done, Candace. That was my sister. We did play Uno together all the time because she could see those cards. The numbers were big and the colors because she was visually impaired too. So it was easier for us to play that game. She absolutely loved coffee and loved Cuban coffee. The stronger, the better. So she had this ritual which she would go down at sunrise and get these little cups of Cuban coffee, and she would drag me with her, even though I didn't drink coffee. And then she also had this favorite diner that she took me to. And she's like, you have to go to this diner. They make the best coffee. And I'm buying you a coffee mug so you'll always remember me by this. And I just pulled it out of the cupboard just a couple weeks ago. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember when she took me here. So I still have that mug, but it's a really different shaped mug with a different handle. So I have that. Apple and horse were very significant for my brother, which is also in the spirit world. So I'm sure that's what she was talking about with the apple and the horse. We always had so much fun together. She always presented a big table of food, and she was always behind everyone helping decorate and get things ready. Trying to think what else. You said so much, so there was like, oh my God, we were both very spiritual. We're both so much into the moon and the stars and meditations. I talked to her like early in the morning when I wake up, and I was doing that this morning. And so I know she's listening and seeing some of these things. Is there anything that I missed that you had a question about? Because I know you said so many that were significant.
No, it's okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much.
For the benefit of our listening audience, I want to explain something here, and that is the fact that Candace and Maureen are not even on the same continents. Maureen's in the United States, Candace is in South Africa, and they did not know each other growing up. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So Candace, I am just kind of blown away by the specificness, you know the word I'm looking for, of that information. How did you know that she watched E.T. with her sister, the movie?
When I was saying the sentence before, I said that the spirit world made me aware of that sounded similar to coming home or something. E.T. come home. Yeah,
Yes.
so they just gave me that. And sometimes, you got to feel deeper into what they're giving you. You become aware of things and knowing.
And we loved watching that movie. And my sister actually looked like that little girl when she was young. So that was significant too, and we were both like, had this sixth sense, and nobody else in the family understood it. It was just like us, we were so close in that way.
I'm just blown away that you could bring up that kind of specific information about her childhood, and you're like almost halfway across the world, so.
Oh, and yeah, the hats too. My sister loved to wear hats. I love to wear hats. I did a mediumship event, and I had a hat had a feather in it. So I'm sure she was there with us on that too.
Great job, Candace.
Thank you so much. Thank my sister for coming in too.
Mm-hmm. Adrienne, are you feeling it?
Yeah.
Right.
Hopefully we'll see where it goes. Okay. So the first thing I get is an F name, like Frank or Fran. And then the second thing, and it's interesting because I'm trying to kind of decipher with the spirit if they're showing me like a movie or they're showing me memories. I haven't kind of deciphered that yet, but I'm going to throw some stuff out there because it does feel like it's kind of like hopping around a little bit. And I don't know if this is like significant of like the spirit's personality, or just different life events. But the second thing I'm getting is like India and chili peppers. So I want to throw that out there. And then I was getting like an oil reference, but when I was filling into that, it felt like it was more of like a healing oil or like an anointment type of an oil. It didn't feel like necessarily cooking. So there's that. And then I was seeing like a pair of hands, and the hands to me look older and kind of worn. So, somebody that would work with their hands quite a bit. And I feel like that there's kind of like fullness, or like it's a little bigger at like the knuckles and the joints and stuff. So it makes me feel like somebody working with their hands a lot. And I almost kind of question maybe arthritis a little bit, because I feel like there's maybe like stiffness or soreness is what it makes me think of. And then also, I know that the sitter would have known this spirit as a child, because I got a very quick glimpse of a school bus, which oftentimes for me will be symbolic of them knowing you in childhood. So let me just kind of pause and see if anybody can understand this so far. I'll keep going.
I can
Rene,
understand.
you can understand. Okay, good. You can understand all of that?
All of that, but when you're saying I knew him as a child, I did not know him as a child, but he shared with me several childhood memories as he was growing up.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Um, would you also understand or recognize a gold charm bracelet? Because I feel like I'm seeing almost like a Bollywood film where people are like dancing around, and like you can see the bracelets and stuff that would make like the noise, and I feel like it's like the charm or something.
I can understand a gold charm bracelet.
Okay, because it's like zooming in on that. Um, and I feel like I'm seeing a male actually kind of stepping forward a bit, and he feels and looks older to me. He's on the thinner side, and he's wearing like a hat. Like I feel like I'm seeing like a baseball hat or a cap. Would you understand a male in spirit like this?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Um, he's I feel like I'm getting the saying "land of the free, home of the brave." Would you understand like a military reference with
I
him?
understand the military reference. Yes.
Okay, okay. Because I feel as if I'm almost seeing him being wheeled out, like in a wheelchair or something, or like setting outside in a parade. And I feel like it's like patriotic, like, 4th of July or something. Um,
I can understand something different than him, but the 4th of July in a veteran in a wheelchair, I understand.
okay, okay, thank you. So, as we find out as mediums, like spirits like to work with all of our different senses, and a new sense for today that I'm getting is like I'm getting a strong smell. Um, would you understand something with like syrup, like maple syrup? Like I keep getting that scent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, because he's making me very aware. Like I keep smelling that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Um, but would you also understand that I feel like he's referencing this and putting it into foods? Like it almost feels like it's an alternative for sugar. And I know
Yep.
it's like,
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
okay, because I feel like I'm seeing oatmeal. I feel like I'm seeing like different ways to stir it into foods to make them taste better and sweeter.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. Um, but there's, I don't know. I want to go something about waffles. Like, but to me, it's almost like the kind you'd put in the toaster, and then
Yeah.
like they see like the frozen waffles and then the syrup on top.
Yep. Yeah. I understand that.
Okay, thank you. I feel like it's just like a quick and easy get it and go.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
the feeling I'm getting. Um, would you understand with this male in spirit that he would have been a strong support to you in life?
Yes.
Okay, because thank you. I feel like he's coming in because he's talking about the strong support he's still being for you, even when he's not physically here on the earth plane.
Okay.
On the spirit side, he's very much coming in, and I feel like he's saying, and I know like your home's been brought up quite a bit today, but like I feel like he's saying like you have a strong foundation, and I feel like that's symbolic of more than one, uh, more than like that can be taken more than one way.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you have a strong foundation with your spirit team and your spirit people and friends, and
Mhm.
I feel like the faith too, like your faith, like, and he's kind of saying like it's all in family, like all of these combined is giving you like a really good support system is what he's kind of talking about. And not to fear, because he says you're kind of living in fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
That I feel like he's also talking about like what's meant to be will be, and it's all going to work out in the best ways possible. So much so like it's hard to even see that right now, with everything. So just to trust and know that however it's going to work out is so much better than you can imagine now. So
Wow.
yeah, just not to fear. He's also talking about a gift, and I feel like he's referencing a gift. I'm seeing like a wrapped up gift, but I feel like it's a gift that's coming in. So he's just kind of talking about like, don't be surprised if there's like a continued gift. So, yeah, like that. It's just part of the help. It's part of the people you have around you, helping and supporting. Let me see what else he has here. Okay. So he's kind of talking about too for you, like you have been such a big help for so many people, including him, because he's saying like, yeah, he was, there for you, but you've been there for him, and like you're there for a lot of people. And I think like a lot of this is coming back, like you've put all this positive stuff out in the world, and like now it's time for it to come back to you, and just like be willing to accept that. Because he says that would you understand that feels kind of unnatural for you? It feels odd to take help, and it feels odd.
Yes, very. Yes.
He says it's your time to receive, is what he's saying. So just don't feel or question that. Don't feel bad, don't question it. Just it's the give and take of the world. Sometimes we're giving, sometimes we're taking, but that's like the flow. It's the flow of life. Would you also understand something about canning food? I feel like I'm seeing a bunch of different foods like in jars.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm seeing them more in a basement or a cellar or something. Like I feel like I'm seeing them under.
Yeah. Yes.
I feel like he's referencing that being a lot of hard work.
Yes.
And it might be worth moving it to a different place.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I feel like I'm seeing it being put like all those jars into like crates and like taking it up out of the basement or wherever it's located.
Exactly.
Okay. And he's kind of joking a little bit, and he's saying like maybe it's time to use some more of that because some of it maybe is forgotten about.
Yeah.
So maybe putting it to use. So yeah, he's kind of just talking about that. But then he's also showing me a lot of different like herbs. Like I feel like I'm seeing rosemary and thyme, and like they feel dried to me.
Yes.
But I feel like okay, I feel like I'm seeing like different tinctures, different oils.
Yes.
Would you understand something to okay, he's kind of making a lot of jokes. So he kind of has like he's kind of funny. Would you understand something to do with like lavender or something? Because I feel like I'm seeing these oils kind of just being like doused on.
Yes.
And he's kind of like, a little bit goes a long way. So I don't know if there's been a little bit extra that's been being used lately. But he's like, it's okay, you don't have to use that much. Like a little bit does it.
Yeah.
So he's kind of just joking about that.
Yeah.
And really, I think he's just coming in just to show you how much support you have and just to be there for you. He's always there. He's always around. So it's like, a lot of times you'll hear people say you can call on them, and of course you can anytime, but like I feel like you don't even need to hear that because you already know. Like he's very much there. I don't even know if you have to call on him because it's just there so much.
Yeah.
Like that's the feeling I get.
Yeah.
And then I know your name says marine bird, but I feel like I'm seeing a bird in reference to you, and it's like spreading your wings and flying. And it's like time for you to really take off and just, you know, it's like flying into the sun or flying into like pure love is the feeling I'm getting with that. Um, kind of being one with spirit, that type of feeling. And he's like, yeah, it's your time to kind of take off and shine now. So just let it go. Let it go. So yeah, I'll leave his love with you, and I thank him for coming in, and thank you so much for taking that, Rene.
Oh my gosh, that was amazing. That was my client. Um, he just passed in June. I'm also a licensed massage therapist, and I was taking care of him and his wife. He did have arthritis in his hands. He was an electrician. He did like scientific work. Um, he was he worked with his hands all the time. I would massage him with onycha oil. So when you were talking about the oil, that was the oil that I used for him, was onycha oil. And the last time I went in, he passed in June, but I still take care of his wife. I was standing in front of his picture talking to him and saying, hey, you know, you did this kind of work. Help me here. Like, what do I need? Send me the people that I need for this. And I always use the lavender oil on his wife. She cooks with the chili peppers. He also brought through a man with a ball cap, which I thought was my brother, but he also at times would wear a ball cap. So I wasn't sure if he was pertaining to my brother or that. Let's see what else. The message makes so much sense to me. There was something else you said that was very significant. I'm trying to think now because you said so much. He was from India. He was from India,
Okay.
and they took his ashes back to India.
Oh wow.
So that was very significant. And all the oils and all of the herbs, because we both used a lot of different kinds of oils and herbs. And, I used them for massage, and he also used them for cooking. He loved to cook. Anything that you have a question on that I may have missed?
The gold charm bracelet, what's that?
Oh, when you said a man coming in with a ball cap, I kind of thought when my brother, and you said right after that about the gold charm. I had bought his wife a gold charm bracelet. It had 2 gold snowflakes on, one for him, one for me, because the day he was buried, we had this worst snowstorm and she hated snow. And I was like, me and him love snow. So I said, this will always remind you of that day, and that me and him are right there getting you through it all. So that was very significant. Yes.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Adrienne, I actually have a question for you, and it had to do with a statement you made early on where you said, you were talking about the school bus, and you said that the school bus is your symbol for knowing somebody in childhood. Can you, for the benefit of our viewing audience, can you explain a little bit about that kind of symbolism?
Well, and it works different for every medium. It's all how our minds kind of work with whatever they're trying to show us. But for me, a lot of times, I'll get different symbols. Like sometimes they'll show me flowers, sometimes it'll be a school bus, and like I'll kind of interpret it as like, okay, school bus makes me think of school, childhood, this kind of thing. And so I'll kind of throw it out there, like to the setter, like, hey, do you understand a school bus? And if they don't, then I'll kind of say, okay, to me, it means this. Does that make sense? So it's just kind of like playing charades sometimes and trying to understand, like, okay, here's a symbol. But yeah, they like spirit likes to kind of, I guess, work with me in that way.
And when you had said that, every bit of evidence that you were giving up to that point I could take. Like you said, India, you said about the oils and everything I could take. And then you said school bus, which would say that you knew him from childhood. He was from India. I was from the United States. So he would relay to me during our massage sessions what he did as a child, how he got to school, that sometimes he took a school bus, times he walked, different things that happened to him when he was a young child, because he came to the United States still basically as a child. He was only 19 years old and came all by himself, didn't have a job, didn't have money. So he relayed all those stories to me. So it was quite interesting from childhood up to adulthood, the stories that he had to share. So it was like I basically knew him as a child, but I really did.
Okay, thank you, Rene. But I think what Adrienne is saying here is that sometimes when something like that comes up, it's something that makes more sense to the medium, than it does with the sitter, and you have to kind of go back and explore that a little more. Would that be correct,
Right,
Adrienne?
right.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for that explanation. I'm going to try to grab a spirit here real quick and see who I got here. Okay. So I feel like I have a man here who had an injury to his nose, a sudden injury. And I'll tell you, for the benefit of our viewing audience, sometimes spirit will make things happen in a medium's body that don't belong to the medium. Like Carol's nose is fine, but all of a sudden my nose feels like somebody punched me in it, okay, that it's had contact with something, and I can also taste blood going down the back of my throat. So whatever this was, I think it was a bloody nose resulting from this. So does anybody know a male who had an injury to his nose? Joann. All right. Thank you. All right. Can I lean a little bit more into this for you?
Sure.
Then?
Mhm.
Okay. I feel like this was not the result of a fight, but the result of an accident of some type. Would that be correct?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Why am I feeling this? Or Candace, I see your hand going. Are you thinking about this?
I can take it, but for someone who is alive,
Oh no.
and it was an accident, yeah.
It
It
was
would have
an
been
accident. Okay. All right. Then I'll keep both of you in the loop, but that's okay. And let me sort it out. So now, for the benefit of our viewing audience, I have to ask Spirit to explain the difference between these two people because this information could pertain to two. So I have to ask Spirit to narrow it down. And let's see. And I feel like the man that this is associated with is a tall, thin guy who has well, actually, I don't know about the tall part. I'll take that back. But he's got like a Mick Jagger type build with like really thin hips. Okay, so does either of that make sense? Does that make sense to either of you, the thin build on this guy?
Not for me.
No? Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see if this is an innocent bystander. Okay. I feel like the tall, thin guy would have been like party to the injury somehow. Okay. Present or there or something, or had a lot to say about this injury. But there's a tall, thin. I want to use the word tall, and I'm not sure he's tall. But he's very thin. So would you understand the thin guy being set off to the side of the man who has the injury? Would that make sense?
I don't want to give too much. The person was bigger. Just
Okay. All right. What about you, Candace?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. Let me lean into him a little bit more. Okay. Love the sock in the nose. Okay. So now the man with the nose injury is back in here, and he's kind of laughing about the nose injury in hindsight. Okay. And he's telling me that he could have expected it. Would either of you understand a feeling that he would have expected it? Candace does. Okay.
Well,
What about you, Joann?
yeah.
Okay, Spirit, give me a separator, please. And there's no separation coming. So what I'm feeling is like this, the man with the nose injury just gets back up and throws himself, I want to use the term, into the swing of things, because I feel like there was like a lot going on around him at the time that the injury occurred. And he just kind of like picked himself up and went on with whatever it was he was doing. And, you know, what's the word that I want? Didn't come up swinging. How's that sound?
Okay, so that's significant about the situation, how it occurred.
Okay, all right. He didn't come up swinging. Okay, all right. Oh my goodness. Candace, does it make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. But if Joanne's person is in spirit, then I'll mute myself. I'll step back.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Okay, Joann, I'm going to continue to work with you. This is so interesting. I feel like there was a lot of alcohol present at the time. Would that be the case?
Oh, I don't know about that.
No? Okay.
But could be. I don't know.
Okay. So let's just say spirits are high, and this almost feels to me like the craziness of like a fraternity party or something like this. You know, it just feels like a wild environment where this happened. Would that make sense to you?
Could be. I'm not sure.
Okay, all right. I want to go back to the coming up, not swinging then, if that makes sense to you. Man. Okay. Do you know that the name Jamie or James associated with this man at all? And if not, no worries. I'm going to set it to the side. But for the benefit of our viewing audience, when I hear a name, I just throw it out there because I hear it. Let's see. Did he have I want to say that like I almost feel like there was some damage to his teeth.
Yes, that's
Okay. Okay. All right. Yoy, this is so strange. Okay. So for the benefit of our viewing audience, sometimes spirit is not necessarily forthcoming with information because they don't want to own up to things. So I'm going to tell Joann that this guy refuses to tell me why he got the sock in the nose. So would that make sense that he'd hide why he got socked in the nose?
I know of a situation where I won't give too much away. A witness, but it was
Okay.
I'll leave it there.
Okay. All right. He's not explaining why he's
Mhm.
got the sock in the nose.
But those are two separate incidences that I know.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Um, let's see. And so now he's showing me big black eyes. Okay. Did he have big black eyes with one injury?
Mm.
Like big, it looked like big raccoon eyes here. So let's see. But this is so strange. You know, what I'm feeling, Joann,
Mhm.
is like there was a lot of testosterone associated with this man. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So he did not react to this situation the way that Carol would have reacted to this situation.
Mhm.
And, you know, and it's funny because I'm having difficulty relating to it because
Mhm.
we would not have reacted the same to it. Um, but I'm going to go ahead and see if I can grab a message from this man and see what's going on. And so he goes like this. First of all, okay, very graphic. And let's see. And he laughs and he said, "You can't keep a good man down." But he's laughing as he says this. Okay. Um, and he says, "Great to see you, kid."
Mhm.
Okay. And that's where he leaves it. Okay. I'll leave it out with light and love.
Okay.
So feedback, please.
Okay. So the punch in the nose was actually boxing. And my brother and I were having a conversation. I said, "Oh, he lost because my other brother would box, but heavyweight." And my brother, this brother that you brought forward, was the youngest brother. And he actually, my brother just informed me that he went in, but he boxed a guy that was much bigger than him. That's why he had lost.
Okay.
We were talking
Okay.
about that. And he was punched in the nose. And I just remember it.
Okay.
And I witnessed both my brothers box, but I witnessed my brother losing to this boxing. So the chip was significant. My brother had beautiful teeth, and someone tripped him and chipped his front tooth.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was very significant. Of course, he had a lot of testosterone. He was young, and he was kind of a character. Um,
Mm.
so so I wouldn't be surprised if he said when you said keep a good man down. You know, he was young, he probably knew he was attractive. Uh um yeah, and the reference of good to see you, kid. I'm the youngest. So yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
And it's
She
interesting.
was.
He's not every time he's come in, he's rarely ever been really like people can't get a lot of information when it comes through. So that was, too significant information, how I would have identified him and
Okay.
remembered.
Whoa. Well, thank you. Thank you for the feedback. That was different. And for the benefit of our viewing audience, you know, sometimes a lot of times mediumship is has message of love and um you know, and remembering people, you know, sending love to people who are on earth, but that doesn't always happen. You know, sometimes they just come in and say, "Hey, how are you?" and then they leave. So it is what it is. So we are just the messengers. So but I want to thank everybody in our viewing audience for joining in with us today. We'll be back online same time next Saturday. We hope you come back and join us again. But in the meantime, I am going to close this down with a prayer, if everyone would please join me. Holy Father, Mother God, Thank you for allowing us to come together today in service of spirit. Thank you for this gift of mediumship that you have given us, and allow us to use this precious gift to help others who need your healing and love. Bless all of our friends and loved ones and protect them from sickness and harm. Bring joy into the lives of people who have sorrow, health into the lives of people who have illness, and abundance to the lives of people who have little. Thank you for the lessons that you've given us today, and help us to continue to build a relationship with you that is based on love and trust. And always, please help us to be the lights that change this world for the better. Amen. All right. Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate you tuning in, and we hope to see you next week. Okay. Bye-bye now.